What's up, Truth and Love? Welcome back to another segment of Let's Talk About It. I'm Sigrid.
And I'm Letitia.
The praise and worship was so good today. Your girl's still a little tore. But please tell me, Letitia, what was your initial thoughts on this sermon?
I thought that it was a very timely word in today's time and what went on last year, that I think it's very important for us to be in alignment and for us to know that sometimes that alignment comes with a price. And
Yes.
so I just think that it was what we needed.
Yes. So, Pastor, he came from Luke chapter 9, verse 62, and he was talking about how Jesus, he basically marched straight into his death. He knew where he was going, and he was so focused. He did it anyway. How can we be like Jesus, brave and courageous to follow through?
I think that Jesus gave us a great example that even when we go through trials and tribulations, that we still can count it all joy. We still have
Amen.
a purpose and a goal, and we still need to keep on fulfilling whatever it is, regardless of what's happening around us in every
Amen.
situation or circumstances. That if the Lord did it, that we can too, because we have the
Amen.
same power.
She said, the Lord did it. Look what the Lord did. So he was talking about when he went to these three different people and he was saying, come, follow me. And they all had excuses. How do we overcome our excuses?
I think that's a good question, because it's just so easy to make excuses, especially when we something that we really don't want to do. But I think we have to learn to prioritize. You know,
Yes.
sometimes we put the Lord behind all these other things that we have on our list. And I think if we
Yes.
prioritize that God is first, and whatever he says, that everybody else just going to have to wait, you know, that we can't put him on a back burner and say, Lord, you know, I'll catch up with you later. I got to finish this and that and the other. That we have to always seek him first. If we do that, then we can really prioritize God, and then everybody else will come after that.
That's so good. Like you said, lining it up and not putting him on the back burner. One of the men, he started his sentence like, but first, first I gotta go do this. First, I gotta go do that. And do you think that's a segue to us kind of unknowingly getting into idolatry by putting something else first?
I definitely think it is, because a lot of times things can be a good thing, but it's
Yeah.
not a God thing. And sometimes we might find ourselves idolizing things that we didn't even consciously even thinking, but because of our actions. Like when he wanted to go bury his father, everybody's probably thinking, okay, well, that's not a bad
Right.
thing. But you was disobedient to God.
Ooh.
God told you to come, and you decided that, wait, I'm gonna let me do what I want to do first, and then I'll come. And I think
Yes.
that we can fall into that serving people or putting things in before God without even realizing it. And I
Yeah.
think that's another thing, like we have to be focused, you know, and
Yes.
get in the proper alignment. That's what the Lord's trying to do to us, because I think in 2020, a lot of things that we were out of alignment, we were putting a lot of things before God. And I feel
Yes.
like that's why the Lord shut everything down, because he was like, okay, you know, I'm going to see, you need to see what's really important.
Yeah.
And that's your relationship with me. And I think that's what 2020 was definitely about.
Just settling down and settling down all the noise, all the busyness, all the
Right.
stuff we were ripping and running trying to do. And one of the scriptures that Pastor talked about was taking up your cross daily. And how do we get into that position? Because that's a painful thing. Jesus, this wasn't no fruitful thing. He wasn't like, all right, I'm going to save y'all. This is cute. This is fun. He went through a lot. He was humiliated. He was beat. He was betrayed by the people that he had worked with, he had walked with, he had
Right.
served with, loved. Watch them people's feet, child. And then they betrayed him. So how can we take up our cross daily?
I think we have to realize that, you know, we're living in a society when a lot of things is going on, and that, you know, everybody's purpose is not to serve God. And so sometimes we get caught up in that people will, you know, serve or do things the way that we would do it. And then when we find out they don't, then we get disappointed with God. But we have
Yeah.
to realize that we're living in this world, but we're not of the world.
Amen.
So we have to realize that whatever the Lord is doing, that we have to be in alignment regardless of what people are saying or people are doing, because we can get
Yes.
so caught up in all these other things that don't even make sense. And so we just really have to remain focused, because and then you have to get everything to God. You know,
Yes.
we have to go to him about everything. We just can't,
Yes.
you know, just focus on I'm gonna give him this, but I'm gonna handle this. We have to continually to let that flesh die daily, and it's a daily
Yes.
thing for me. I have to continually say, oh, you know, Lord, I might have been something I thought that I was over, or something that I need to whatever, and I said I need to give that and put that on the altar again, because I'm still struggling with this.
Yeah. Yeah, just our humanity realizing you've got to do this every day. Because sometimes if you slack off, something might, creep back up, and you gotta kill it again. You gotta kill it again. You gotta kill that flesh again every day. Kill your anger. Kill your will, your desires. It has to die. There's so many good nuggets in this sermon, y'all. But I just want to go back to the point where Pastor was talking about rejection, the R word. He was talking about how rejection can push you into your purpose. Can you just speak to that for the people about rejection?
I mean, I can relate to that so much because it was when I was in nursing school. It was a thing that I had decided that I wanted to be a nurse. But then the Lord, that wasn't his plan for my life. And he allowed the program to reject me after I had got it accepted. And it was a hard thing for me to accept because I'm like, Lord, this is a good thing. What's going on? But he let me know that you never acknowledged me in any of this. You decided to go on your own will, do whatever you wanted to do. And you didn't acknowledge me. And God let me see that even though nursing is a great thing, that it wasn't his will for my life.
Amen.
And even allowed me to see that some things that I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah.
So that rejection was God's protection. He allowed me to get in it, but he said, no, I have something that's greater for you. I have something else that I want you to work on. And I think, rejection sometimes is hard and difficult to deal with, but if you seek God first and you keep him first and you want to be in line with your will, a lot of times he'll let you know why he allowed things to happen.
Amen.
And he'll reveal things because he knows so much more than we know. And, he knows, our hearts, and he knows what we can do, what we can't do, what would be good for us. And so rejection has been a blessing. And I thank God. I used to feel sad and hurt about it, but now I can thank God because he did it for my protection.
Amen. The word says that he will deny his children no good thing. So we might think it's a good thing, but God knows he's infinitely wise. It might not be a good thing. So Truth and Love, tell us what really stood out to you in the sermon and how you're going to apply it. Thanks for rocking with us on another segment of Let's Talk About It. See you next time.